Hello, thank you for taking the time to listen to this webinar today. How much do you get done by the end of the day? How much of the tasks that you've been assigned, either by someone else or by divine providence, do you get accomplished by the end of the day? What is it that you do so that the end of your day seems fulfilled, complete, accomplished? What do you have to do? And when you do, at the end of the day, retrospect onto what you've done, would you call that a great day, a good day, a nice day, a wonderful day, or a fulfilled day? Did you, at the end of the day, of each day, in retrospection, if you do that, recognize that that day was a wonderful, fulfilled day? It's not so simple. Not only that, it goes even further than this. And that is that even though this may have been a fulfilled day, did you do it in such a way that it was at the utmost level of your potential? So the question is this: did you settle for less at any time during the day? In other words, you woke up in the morning, you got dressed, and went to work. When you got to your office, you got to a place of employment, at any time, anything that was given to you, either by someone else or by the course of the day, as the day went on, did you do it in such a way that it was the utmost of your potential without ever settling for less? You see, many people settle for less. In many areas of life, we see that in high school, many children go through high school and they're just satisfied with just a good grade, a C. They're lucky, maybe a B, and if they're good at what they do, they might even get an A. A across the board at all the time, it's only given to a few people. They join sports activities, and they may be in one team, but they may be just part of that team, but not always the team leader. So if they're not the team leader, what would you say is the difference? Why is it that that person did not settle for the highest that they could do on that day? Why didn't they reach the highest potential that they had on that day? Then comes later on in life, college, and then work, and then life in private home, private settings, with a spouse. Do we settle for less? Did you settle for less? Is there any day that you could say, I just settled because I was just exhausted. I've reached my limit and I'm okay with that. I'll just take that. That's good enough. Right? You get to a store and you're purchasing something. Say a suit. And as you're purchasing this outfit, it doesn't quite fit. It doesn't quite look right. Something is wrong with it. But you'll settle for it. I'm okay with that. I'll settle for less. See, when it comes to materialistic aspects, meaning buying clothes, buying certain things that are around your house, a piece of furniture, maybe even a car, or perhaps certain things that you use on a day-to-day basis, but are not, quote, of magnitude importance, like a toothbrush or soap for your bathroom. There's certain things that we buy on a regular basis, and we settle for less, and that you can do. But when it comes to the day's accomplishment, are you settling for less? Are you in a pursuit of setting up a legacy of every single day in your life you can say, I have fulfilled my day to the highest potential that I have? Or did you settle for less? It's a question that you can ask yourself on any given moment, at any given place, everywhere, for everything. It's amazing. Many of us settle for less. It's interesting. We settle for less. When we get an explanation of benefit from the insurance company showing us what they're willing to pay, we settle for that. When a personal injury attorney calls and says, this is what I'm offering, we settle for that. Sometimes when our child comes home and says, this is the best grade I could get, we settle for that. And then when we have issues with our relationship with our spouses, we settle for that. We accept it. We say, that's good enough. That's as far as I can make it. I think about a person that would say, starting today, I will not settle for less, under any circumstances, unequivocally, undoubtedly. Irrespective of the situation, I will not settle for less. I will take the best of what there is all the time, everywhere, in all circumstances, for all conditions. Now that's not so easy, is it? I think you have heard about the story once of Albert Einstein. Albert Einstein, as you know, was probably one of the most proliferate scientists that has lived in the last hundreds of years or so. This scientist was an extremely innovative in what he has come up with. There are only a few of these people that have made a difference in the whole world by some of the discoveries that they have made. They spent their entire life dedicating to finding out what was reality behind a scientific concept, a process, something that they developed, an equation. And they will not give up. So, it tells the story of Dr. Einstein, Professor Einstein, as he's known, walking out with his students, 2 or 3 of his close follower students, surrounding him, and as he's developing and explaining to them a concept in mathematics, deep concept, and they were walking away, going towards their car. He couldn't help but continuously speak, and in a way where he was so focused, he wasn't paying attention that it had started raining. And it started raining and pouring rain as though it had never rained before. Yet, his thought, his concept, never once wavered. It didn't stop. He kept on going. It's amazing. If you think about that. We walk, and there we are, on the phone maybe, or in a conversation with someone, however important it is. But if it starts drizzling, we immediately focus onto the drizzle and say, my goodness, it's drizzling, let me get an umbrella. Excuse me, we tell the person on the other line. Hold on a second. Because it's raining. We pay attention to that. Even if we're driving, and here we are driving, and having an important conversation with a person in our car. Could be a spouse, could be a child, could be a friend, could be a business associate. And it's drizzling, and we say, oh my goodness, it's drizzling. In the middle of the conversation, our focus changes. He never stopped. One of the students that was there around said he could not believe it, that he kept on talking and never even realized that the rain was coming down on him. And they were being drenched by this rain. Professor, Dr. Albert Einstein kept on going and going and going. For several minutes. It says close to 20 minutes he kept on talking. And then realized, actually, that they were drenched. That's a focus. That's not settling for less. You see, I am a professor. I'm a doctor. I am Dr. Albert Einstein. I have something to discuss. This is very important. I put my life into this, and I'm explaining it to you, and I'm giving it to you at 100%. Why does the rain matter to me? I don't pay attention. This was his idea. This is the way he operated. That's a phenomenal concept. If you think about that, having that strength, having this type of determination, having this much focus, it's never settling for less. This type of person doesn't settle for less. This type of person, this type of dedicated mind, never says, this is enough for me. And this is where I would like to focus today's talk. Are you settling for less at any given time? So what we have to do is we have to make a list. There is the personal department, me, myself, what I have to do about me. Then there is the family, spouses, children, parents, and all other extended family members. Then there's our work, what we have to do versus our quality work, meaning our employers, employees, people we work with, colleagues, professionals. And then there is the rest of the world. So if you consider these 4 different departments, myself, my family, my work, and the rest of the world. In these 4 areas on a daily basis, and please I invite you to write it down, are you continuously settling for the best that there is or for less at any given time? So let's take one at a time. Let's talk first about life as personal. Talk about yourself. Are you settling for less at any given time? When you read something, are you just satisfied with just understanding the basic concept of what you've read? When you talk to a patient or work with a patient and about what you believe, what you have, what you think, what you need, what you have been raised with, the concepts that you've been nurtured since birth, are you just happy to share them briefly in general concept, or are you in depth into it? Talking about your health. Are you satisfied with the way that you wake up in the morning being full of energy, or do you believe that you have extra strength that you can gain if you were to start going to the gym and working out, losing weight, possibly eating better? Are you satisfied in all these areas? Look at all the aspects of your life and find out whether or not you are satisfied in maximizing and getting and receiving and giving the most of that there is for you, about you, in your life. That's just for you. Now let's look at the family. That's a very difficult one, because the minute it doesn't talk about us but we talk about somebody else, it becomes precarious, it becomes tangible, it becomes more touchy. So, about your life. Your spouse, your children, your parents. How are they faring with you? What is it that you're giving them? What is the kind of relationship that you have? Are you settling for less? Are you just okay with your spouse? You're having discussions, but it's okay. Don't rock the boat. Or have you maximized that? Are you giving 100% of it? Did you make that relationship the best that there could be? It says that when a man comes to the office and he still, at the end of the day, feels the arms of his wife or of his spouse around his body in the middle of the day or the end of the day, he becomes invincible. If you can still get to the office and still on your cheek feel the kiss that you received from your child, that's an extraordinary life. That is making the day the most that there is, and having a relationship with your family members at the utmost level that you can. When it comes to work, are you settling for less at work? You're just coming in, doing the work, what you got to do, and looking at the clock, looking at the watch, every 20 minutes, every 30 minutes. I always tell all the people that I work with in my office, I ask them often, when was the last time you looked at your watch? And they say, well, 20 minutes ago, 30 minutes ago. We got problems. See, if you look at the time because you have appointments and you want to make sure they get done, that's okay. My question is this. When you get to the office, are you looking at your watch every 10 minutes, every 20 minutes, every 40 minutes? When you hear an employee or a colleague or someone that works with you that says, my goodness, I can't believe it, it's already 12 o'clock. That's the first time that they looked at their watch. That means they've been there from 7 or 8 o'clock in the morning, went to work straight through and looked at their watch by 12 o'clock. They are enjoying it, they are loving it, and they are producing. They are productive in what they do, and they're making the best of it. And they weren't even paying attention to the time. Next time they should look at the time, it should be 2, 3, 4, 5 minutes before the end of the day. 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 5 o'clock, whatever the end of the day means for you. And that is what success is all about. This is where you know that you're not settling for less, but you're settling for more. Don't settle for less. What's the point of that? You only have one life, and it's short. You only have one opportunity, and it never comes back. Each day is infused with power and light and goodness that has never been here before. That means that today, as you're watching this video, the energy that's infused in the world today has never been here present before, ever, since the history of the creation of the world. And therefore, you have the opportunity to take this light, this energy, this goodness, all these blessings that come to you, and make the best day of your life. That's not so simple. Because every single day we think, but I've got things to do. I got to pay bills, I got to speak to my wife, and I got to pick up the kids, and I got to go to the cleaners, and I have to take a shower. All of those things that have to do with these four worlds that I've spoken about. Whether it's myself, the world of my family, or the world of the office, or the world at large. Continuously we're bombarded with requests. But I'm asking you the question. Since today is a new day, since it's been infused with light and energy and goodness and blessings and everything else that has never been there before, you're given a brand new opportunity to start anew. As though it never existed. As though this was the first day of your life. But yet, you're an adult today. And you're old enough to know what's best. You're old enough to know what's better for you and what's better for others. And you can make that distinction. Why wouldn't you do that? Now let's talk about the rest of the world. Did you settle for less? Did you just say, look, I'm doing my best. I took a shower. I go to the gym twice a week. Actually, I eat well. I even take care of things around the house. My wife loves me. My children are fantastic. My parents think the world of me. At work, I've got a great relationship with everyone else. I do the best that I can for the people I work with, and I'm pleased with what I've accomplished. What about the rest of the world? Have you affected the world today? Have you thought about the effect that you have on the rest of the world? Well, how can you do that, you ask? I took care of all these other three departments. How will I affect the world? Am I supposed to get on the plane and travel? There are people who do that, by the way. There are people who take their life, their spouse, all of their belongings, and move to other countries, and the developed countries, and deserved countries, and decide to help others, help the world make a better place. It takes dedication to do that. It takes dedication. To put away your needs, your wants, your wishes, and put theirs first. Can you think of that for a second? Think about that for a minute. Let's say you were to say to your close family, spouse and children, and whoever you have that's closer to you right now, and say, let's sell everything we got, whatever it is. Let's pack up and go to a third world country, far away, because there are many people who do not have food on their table, who do not have proper hygiene, who do not know how to read and write, who do not know how to take care of simple things. And we will teach them those skills. I'm not a rich person, I'm not a professor, I'm not agricultured in such a way that I would know what to do if you were to present me with a field. But you know what? The things that I know, the things that I have, the things that I believe in, I will take with me and help these people. Could you do that? Not so simple. It doesn't mean, however, that each and every one of us has to do that in order to help the world. Let me give you some insight as to what you can do to make this world a better place to be. Very simple. Without having to pack up everything and move all the way to Tibet or South Kenya or who knows where that you're thinking about. There are many things that you can do on a day-to-day basis. Let me give you an example. You're driving on the way to the office, and there's someone next to you. You could smile. It has to be pleasant. You could also, if they have to cross the street, make sure as they cross the street that you give them enough space. Stay a little behind than the white lines at the red light. You can make sure that when you get to a place, a store, to the bakery, to the store, and you see several people congregating to the cashier because they're in a rush, and you're not, let them go first. Be the one to give in. Be the one to be kind. Be the one to share. When you speak to the people that you work with, let them know of the good things that you have that you can share with them so they can share with others. When you turn on any kind of item, whether it's an iPod today or an iPad or a television or a radio, whatever it may be, why not tune in on the positive things? Take that information and share it with others. Rather than listening to the negative news and then going to others and saying, my goodness, have you heard what happened The stock market is crashing. The economy is bad. This president is doing this. That is doing that. Don't blame the Republicans. Don't blame the Democrats. Don't blame anybody. Just pick up the good and share it with others. By doing this on a day-to-day basis, you can affect the world and make things differently where you are. Because let me just say something, that if God wanted you to live in Tasmania or South Kenya or in places that are so far-flung that you would not speak English and not be wearing clothes on a day-to-day basis, but live among a tribe, that's where He would have put you. That doesn't mean that you should not help these people, but there is a way that you can do it right here, right now, with what you've got. As we live here today, you have the ability, you have the strength, you have the potential to make the place where you are a godly place, a holy place, a good place, a place where light shines forth for everyone. And if you were to do this, you could affect the rest of the world and never moving from your spot. Professor Albert Einstein did that. He was able to create, in one little laboratory that he worked in downstairs in his office, enough information and develop enough systems from a simple equation that took him all the way through the rest of the world, and he affected this whole universe by the science that he discovered. Was it there before? Did he create it? No, he just discovered it. He knew there were jewels in this world that needed to be polished, and he took them and polished them. He knew there were sparks of godliness, of goodness, of knowledge, of greatness throughout the world. He just discovered them, took them and polished them and made them better. There are millions of people in this world today that just need to be helped, need to be pushed, need to be supported, need to be loved. You can do that. All of us can do that. And never settle for less, no matter what you do. Never, ever settle for less. Do what you can. If you settle for less at any given time, it's not a wasted day. It's a pity day. Wasted means nothing happened. Pity means you didn't do it all. You did some of it. I wouldn't want that day. And I pray to God every day when I wake up that today should be a fulfilled day. 100% fulfilled day. May God bless each and every one of us to have every single day the opportunity to say, today I didn't settle for less. I did the most that I could. Have a wonderful day and a fulfilled life. Thank you for taking the time, and God bless you. Okay, testing 1, 2, 3. Hello. Where should I put my hands? I'm going like this, I'm going like that. Oh, no. All right, let's start. Hello. If you point the camera towards me, I'm not sure what to do, so be careful when you point it. Let me just start. I don't need a prompt. I know what to say. Hello, and thank you for this is ridiculous. Look at this. I'm not doing it today. I'm not doing it.